All right, let's dive into something we've all felt. That deep internal tug-of-war between wanting revenge and trying to forgive. We're going to uncover the surprising science behind why these two feelings are constantly battling it out inside our heads.
So let's start with a feeling I think we all know. Someone wrongs you, right? And forgiving them just feels impossible. But the thought of getting even? There's this little spark of satisfaction there, isn't there? Well, it turns out you're not crazy for feeling that way. There's actually a powerful scientific reason for it. Okay, so to really get to the bottom of this, we need to look at what's actually happening inside our brains when we even think about revenge. And what scientists have found? Well, it's pretty wild. Get this. When you're sitting there plotting how to get back at someone, whether they cut you off in traffic or took credit for your big idea at work, your brain actually lights up its reward system. We're talking about the exact same part of the brain that fires up when you're planning something you genuinely love to do. I mean, look at this. It lays it out perfectly. To your brain's reward system, planning revenge feels pretty much the same as planning brunch with your friends. It's not really about the act itself. It's that anticipation, that planning, that gives you that little jolt of pleasure. So the part of the brain doing all this work? It's called the dorsal striatum. You can basically think of it as your brain's own little motivation engine. It just lights up whenever it expects a reward, and that's what pushes you to take action, whether that action is booking a reservation or, plotting a little payback. Okay, so if our brain is getting this little reward, this kick out of planning revenge, why does it feel so draining in the long run? Well, it's because while your brain is getting a treat, your body is paying a totally different price. That feeling of just simmering anger, right? Of holding on to that grudge, that's not just in your head. It's a real physical thing happening in your body. It triggers this constant release of stress hormones, basically locking your system into a state of fight or flight.
And the main hormone responsible for this is cortisol. You've probably heard of it, the stress hormone. Now, a little bit is fine. It helps you deal with immediate problems. But when it's just pumping through your system constantly because you can't let something go, man, it really starts to wear you down. It messes with your sleep, your mood, and can have some pretty serious long-term effects on your health.
So this brings up a really fascinating question, right? If holding on to all this anger is so physically bad for us, why are we wired for revenge in the first place? Why wouldn't we just be built to forgive and forget, just for our own good? Well, the answer goes way, way back, deep into our evolutionary past.
And this really is the heart of it all. Our desire for revenge isn't some kind of modern flaw in our character. It's an ancient survival tool. Seriously, think of it like software that was installed in our ancestors to help them survive in a world that was a lot more dangerous than ours.
The whole explanation comes from a theory with a name that sounds kind of backward, the evolution of cooperation. I know, you're thinking, how on earth could revenge lead to cooperation? Well, it was all about enforcing social rules and stopping bad behavior in a time before there were any laws or police.
So let's just walk through this. Imagine one of our ancestors gets cheated or harmed by someone else in their group. Instantly, that impulse for revenge kicks in. By fighting back, by getting even, they send a really clear signal. Hey, I'm not an easy target. And that reputation, that was everything. It was a powerful deterrent that protected them from being exploited again and basically forced everyone else to play fair. Revenge, weirdly enough, was a survival tool.
Okay, so fast forward to today. We're obviously not living in small hunter-gatherer tribes anymore, but we are still running that exact same ancient software. And that's what creates this huge internal conflict in our modern lives.
In this chart, it really just lays the whole conflict out plain and simple. On one side, you've got revenge. Your brain wants that instant reward thanks to that old survival programming. But your body, it's paying the price with high stress, all that cortisol. Then you have forgiveness. It offers zero instant gratification, but in the long run, it leads to peace and lower stress, which is what we need for social harmony in the world we live in now.
So the next time you feel that intense pull between wanting revenge and trying to forgive, just remember this. That struggle doesn't mean you're broken. It's not a bug in your system. It's a feature of being human. It's the clash between our ancient, hardwired survival instincts and our modern need for peace.
And that leaves us with one final thought. Every one of us is walking around with ancient software, designed for a world that's long gone. The question isn't whether that programming is good or bad. It's just what we have. The real choice is in understanding it. So knowing all this now, how are you going to run your software?